To quickly introduce myself, my name is Parker. I'm the Health and Wellbeing Specialist in Risk Services. So I create programs and workshops and run the wellness challenges, as well as our Wellness Week this week. I have a master's in nutrition and health coaching, so I'm really passionate about helping people find ways to add little habits into their days to help support health and well-being for our faculty and staff. Okay, so today's topic, as we know, is about creativity and how it relates to stress. So I'm going to start out with some rhetorical questions. And if you want to share your experiences in the chat, then please feel free to. So to start, have you ever just driven alone in silence and listened to your thoughts? Or do you listen to music or watch comedy and find that it helps you process things? Or even craft and maybe feel your brain start to focus and quiet down? All of these are creative experiences, but there are also stress management tools as well. There is a whole field of science that is looking at creative activities. And what we're finding is that they are vital for personal fulfillment, for emotional regulation, and even for enhanced performance at work. So today we're going to talk about that relationship between creativity and stress. We'll talk a little bit about what is creative rest, and then we'll go through some different ideas for activities and quick things that you can do while you're at work. So let's start by defining what we mean by creativity. According to the American Psychological Association, creativity is the ability to produce or develop original work, theories, techniques, or thoughts. A creative individual typically displays originality, imagination, and expressiveness. And so maybe you've noticed as we define this, creativity is not about necessarily having a certain amount of talent or being an artist. It's more about having the ability to think flexibly, to express internal experiences, and to problem solve. And so in creative pursuits, we do have the opportunity to start processing, and some of that processing can help to alleviate stress. Being creative, though, and stress don't usually go hand in hand. A mind that is stressed can find it really hard to function creatively. And that is because stress shifts our mind into a fight or flight state. So the brain is using all of its resources to keep you hyper vigilant and ready for survival. And the result is tunnel vision, narrowed focus, and narrowed thinking. It becomes easier to ruminate and think in circles because there is a problem at hand that you're worried about. Meanwhile, a creative mind is open and expansive, and the body is shifted into a rest and digest state. Thinking becomes more open and creative in many different ways, and it becomes more natural when stress is low. This is because creativity taps into multiple brain centers, and then all of them can react and help you to form new ideas. And that is how we can have those really cool aha sort of moments that suddenly solves a problem that we've been thinking on. Engaging in creative activities and having these creative experiences can support mental health. Cognitive flexibility increases. So the mind is better able to adapt to change. Cognitive flexibility increases, and the mind is better able to adapt to change, to shift perspectives, find new alternatives, and to bounce back if there's any setbacks. And these are actually all traits of emotional resilience. The research repeatedly shows that creative experiences and activities can help to reduce stress and loneliness. They are fantastic ways to strengthen relationships and to grow your community. And it's that sharing what you love with other people that really helps to strengthen the bonds. Participants involved in a diverse range of studies report having an improved sense of well-being, better emotional processing, and enhanced intrinsic motivation. So they're finding motivation within themselves to do the things they want and not necessarily from outside sources. Now we have creative rest. Like we mentioned, creative rest is necessary to help us feel replenished and to thrive. This is rest from the constant focus and pressures and goal-oriented tasks in our work, as well as in our day-to-day lives. Researchers that are studying the neuroscience of creativity found that it's a flexible and dynamic process in the brain. There are different brain regions that engage and interact, and the more you can practice creative thinking, it can actually start to rewire your brain, helping to make it easier to think creatively over time. So some things that you can do is maybe start by allowing space for quiet, to let your mind wander and to daydream a little bit. It's not actually a waste of time. What it does is it activates the brain's default mode network. And this is the network that comes online when we suddenly think of a new idea or a creative way to solve a problem. But it's during that mind wandering sort of state that allows that flexibility to occur. So you might have noticed that we often have those thoughts and connections in the shower, and that's because there's no other input to distract our minds. And so the only thing that's left to do is to think. Creative rest can also be doing calming and mindful activities like spending time on crafts. And another option is to enjoy really engaging experiences, to be inspired and to experience awe. We can sometimes get the feeling or think that inspiration is something that needs to find us. But really, a creative mind actively searches for new inspirations. So that could be traveling, that could be going to a concert, or even hiking. Whatever is fun, whatever gets you out to experience something new. And as adults, we often lose our sense of play and imagination and experiencing novelty. And creative rest is really about engaging in the beauty of the world around us to foster that sense of creativity and wonder and awe to help expand our minds. Let's all hear from each other in the chat, or if you want to come on mute, if you do anything involving arts or crafts, what are the hobbies that you like to do? Or I'll amend that, even any experiences or activities that can inspire that feeling of awe as well. They like to mend things, typically clothes, bags, and sheets. Ooh, that's fun. Do you use those creative stitching? Like, is it shashiko? Oh, yes, very cool. And the thing about sewing is that you need to be focused. Play the piano and paint by numbers. Awesome. We'll talk a little bit about music as well. Okay, thanks everyone for sharing, singing in the car, making cards, creative listening. Ah, love all these ideas. Thank you all for sharing. I love this part of the sessions as well because we get to learn from each other and hopefully get inspired to try new things too. doing workshop on fused glass and clay. Oh, that is so cool. Doodling, love it. We'll do some of that too. The research says that there are many stress regulating capabilities of doing arts and crafts. One study found that just 45 minutes of art making can significantly reduce cortisol, so lowering stress. And other studies showed that structured, repetitive activities like pattern drawing or coloring have also helped to reduce anxiety. Engaging in low technology, tactile, rhythmic crafts like sewing can help with feeling more emotionally grounded, more mentally present, and creatively fulfilled. So these are all aspects of mindfulness too. A variety of creative activities have been researched, including topics like art, movement, dance, music, and drama. And furthermore, a variety of crafts have been studied as stress management tools, including pottery and food and woodworking, textile crafts, paper crafts. Crafting and making art, like we just mentioned, requires you to slow down and to really focus on the present. And you also get a chance to tap into those tactile and sensory inputs that we otherwise wouldn't really pay attention to. And so in turn, the mind settles down, breathing gets a little easier, and emotions start to calm down as well. So now, if you have your pens, your papers, your pencils, whatever, go ahead and get those handy. And we're just going to do a quick minute or so of doodling. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see easier, because doodling is something that you can do pretty easily. And I find that most folks don't want to start because they'll not do it well. But the point of creative practice is not necessarily to do something well, it's to have practice and you can develop it over time. So for mindful wave doodling, you get your paper and you just make squiggles. Squiggles like waves all over the paper. Maybe throw in some other ones so that they're overlapping and creating shapes. And even add a sun, some rays, make it really bright. And that was like a 10-second doodle. You can also go into it and start to color. So make patterns, use highlighters. Anything goes. You can put it down, you can pick it back up, you can get a coloring book. And I will go ahead and share my screen again because we'll do one more. This one is drawing in a single line. So a little bit of a challenge, but also quite fun. I challenge you to draw our beloved Sammy the Slug in a single line. So I'll give you a moment to try that out for yourself. And I'll go ahead and do mine too. Let's see where this gets us. All right, here's mine. It's a little bit abstract, you would say. If anyone tried that though, how was the experience for you? This is something that folks often do in art class too. Ooh, watched YouTube shorts with simplicity for creativity. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. It's about calming down, letting go, and just enjoying the process. So I hope you like that. And flexing your brain with single lines. Yes. I love how you mentioned that drawing something in a single line, not picking up your pen or pencil, it is a challenge and it really requires focus that can pull you away from anything external that might be stressing you, even just for a moment. So thanks everyone for trying along if you did that. And if not, then you're ready to go later too. So let's start talking about music. Music is a really powerful influence for emotion, and the research shows that it can help lower heart rate and cortisol. It can also release endorphins, improve your overall sense of well-being, and reduce symptoms that are related to stress. And this is because music influences the brain's emotional centers. So some things you might try is creating a playlist to inspire something like energy or focus or calm. Additionally, you can tap into your teenage self or younger self and listen to any nostalgic tunes that you love. And nostalgic music can promote emotional regulation. Chances are you processed a lot of things at that time too. It can also promote social connectedness because people can connect quite well over music. And like you mentioned earlier, don't forget to sing. Singing is yet another layer of stress management processing, and the soft vibrations of song can help to shift you more into that rest and digest. And for our musicians, chances are that you have experienced this emotional processing with music, maybe even had some brilliant song ideas during those daydreamy default network mode times. And so, for the music lovers, share a favorite nostalgic song or music artist or genre that you love listening to. I know that especially when I'm stressed out, I really like to listen to metal. Kind of sounds counterintuitive, but I find that the energy helps to bring me down. We have Rihanna, Megan Thee Stallion, yes. Janet Jackson, ooh, super fun. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, music is such a beautiful way to process our internal experience. Now for movement. And one more. Early 90s and R&B. Ooh, yes, take me back. So moving your body also helps to actively process stress out of the system. The mind to body connection helps to reduce stress hormones, increase endorphins, and release tension in the muscles. Research shows that dance, Tai Chi, yoga, and mindful walking all help to improve stress and increase psychological well-being. Additionally, there's more than just those types of movement. We also have things like writing, creative writing, and journaling can provide yet another avenue to express thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And handwriting is also a form of mind to body connection. It activates more neural networks than typing, and so it requires more focus and processing. Writing helps to also externalize thoughts, which allows the body to physically release them from the mind onto the paper. And sometimes this is an opportunity to get out things that otherwise you wouldn't say. And then lastly, we have laughter. So taking a humorous perspective can help to relieve stress, and laughter itself helps to relax muscles and it's been found to sometimes normalize heart rate and blood pressure as well. It additionally releases endorphins, and laughing can increase cognitive functioning as well. So, before you embark on your creative endeavors, here are some tips that you can take away. But first, I skipped over these fast creative resets. So these are really quick activities that you might try using if you're feeling stuck or unfocused or overthinking. And these can help to release negative energy and invite more brightness into your day. So we mentioned listening to music and playlists, doing a quick doodle. Mindful coloring is really calming. Making a vision board, decorating, and decorating your space also helps with focus and productivity as well. You can write, go on a nature walk, take pictures, or even play around with puzzles. And so now, some tips to take away. Be curious, have fun, and explore. Being creative and enjoying creative activities is all about making more time for play as well. The point is to enjoy the process, not necessarily on the finished product. So you can let go any pressure on yourself to make anything look a certain way or be a certain way. In fact, embrace imperfections. The more you can do that, the more calm you can experience within yourself. My challenge for you for the rest of the day is to pick one 5 to 10 minute activity that you can do while you're at work. And then when you have a larger chunk of time, find an activity that you can do for 20 to 45 minutes. It could be something like crochet or cooking or gardening or what have you. Try some new things. Make sure to prioritize time so you can do things that you like. The point is to find something that you can look forward to at the end of the day or wherever it fits in your day. The next step is to craft that into an implementation intention. It increases your chances of actually putting this into action. You can structure it by saying when, and then add whatever cue you will start, and then I will insert what activity that you will do. So, for example, when I finish dinner and turn on Jeopardy, I will cross stitch for 20 minutes. So we have a minute. If you have been inspired to try something new or want to continue with anything that you are doing, feel free to share that in the chat. Oh, we have another idea for music. Mid-hundred, 2000s, emo and pop punk. Yeah, so we have plenty of ideas. Try something new, pick up a hobby that you loved during the past. And I thank you very much for spending your time here today. I'm very excited to see you at our follow-up session on Thursday, May 28th from noon to 12:30. So we'll get together, share what we did, share tips and new ideas, all of that good stuff. Let's see, some things to do. Make use of colored pencils and do a bit of coloring after work. Yeah, I wonder how many of us have art supplies that have been in the closet. Make more time for crafting, doing a puzzle. Ooh, an art class in the summertime. That would be super fun. You have to let us know what kind you do.